After climbing through the Wallapai Mountains and down into the high deserts, our journey picks back up just north of Lake Alamo. In this final episode of the series, the group and I push south through a 3-mile desert slot canyon, experiencing some incredibly unique terrain. As summer temperatures are quickly approaching, this will be the last episode in the western Arizona territory. Over the last 4 days, we were able to cover a wide variety of geological regions that this portion of the state has to offer. Stick around to see ancient mining towns, abandoned ranch cabins, and an insane final camp spot of this journey. As always, my name's Cody, and you're watching another episode of the White Dog Overland Experience. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to episode 3, day 4. Currently sitting about 20 miles north of Alamo Lake. Yesterday we dropped down out of the Wallapai Mountains. Day 1, I spent metal detecting and traveling through the Oatman and Black Mountain Range, which that was a pretty good time. The following day we traveled up through the northern part of the Black Range and over into Kingman, where we met Jonny and Jeff. From there we carried up into the Wallapai Mountains. We crossed over some really cool basins and ranges and lots of cattle grazing territory, drove through a survivalist camp, and then we headed up the following day into some really gnarly switchback shelf roads and got into some hairy stuff that we will probably never forget. So today we've got a couple cabins, a couple mines to show you. We're going to head over to Alamo Lake here shortly, and by the end of today we might have a nice overlook over Havasu Lake. So we'll see you on the trail. Alright, since Jeff's pretty much cooked for me every night on this trip, I've realized I've only cooked once, so I have to offer some breakfast. So we're cooking some breakfast right now. Adventure Squad Jeff supplied some really nice looking sausage. I'm going to get this all diced up and ready to go and ready to serve. So, picture. Yep.
Struts. Awesome.
Get in there. The first time I heard of Maggie Slot Canyon, my interest was piqued. A 3-mile long slot canyon with tight walls, multiple hiking slots along the trail leading down to a massive lake sounded awesome, but there was a caveat. A full-size truck may push the boundaries of its width allowance. I must say, after crushing a mirror and scraping my bumper multiple times, that's definitely in question. Anything larger than my Tundra would certainly not fit, especially after a flood. The elevation of the wash may change with new sand flowing in, but I didn't come all this way to back out. On the topic of width allowance, I want to highlight something very important for anyone running a full size, and that is tire width. I see guys running negative 30 offset wheels on a full size and it makes me cringe. You're already at a disadvantage with a full size and you're going to limit your capabilities even further. Something to consider when browsing for a wheel and tire purchase, and don't even look at anything over 18-inch wheels. You might be a bro, but you're also an off-roader, so stop thinking about aesthetics and start considering what's going to hinder your capabilities. More rubber is better, and finding a cheap forged wheel is the way to go. If you use your truck, rock rash is inevitable, so take that $2,000 set out of your cart right now and get you something that won't hurt when you bash it.
Leave Daisy in the truck.
For sure. There's a little hikeable slot canyon right here. Some canyon to Shelly type action. So we're gonna see what it has in store. This is quite the crevasse. Where's that dog at? It's like it's like 20 degrees cooler in here. Wow, this is, whoa. Very cool. This goes on and on and on. This is really cool.
It's all
We were finally out of Maggie Slot Canyon and approaching Alamo Lake. I had never been here, but growing up, I remember hearing stories from my dad about all the big bass he pulled out of Alamo during his fishing tournaments. The lake was dammed in 1968 from the Bill Williams River and is a major tributary to the Colorado. Between 1970 and 1980, unseasonably large storms filled the lake, allowing for recreational fishing and boating. But there was no fishing on the schedule for us today. It was already noon, and we had nearly another 50 miles to cover before day's end. Old McGuffy's cabin. Looks like they got a security system here. Old Glory flying. Whoa, it's fully furnished.
No way.
Yeah, totally furnished. This is pretty cool. Wonder if that's might be color, might be black and white. That's an old TV. Old burner. This is really neat. People have probably been coming here for many years. Lots of different Overland stickers. Check out the kitchen. Old Viceroy cigarettes. Let's see what's in the fridge. Oh, my favorite Michelob Ultra. Absolutely not. So at one point, this was a pretty poppin' cattle ranch here. This was built in 1948, and they primarily just served this canyon running cattle up and down it. Other than that, there are some petroglyphs around here somewhere. I don't know where they are, but I'm gonna try to find those.
Yo, what's up, you guys? Cody's taking us on an excellent adventure. Party on, and
I was just gonna show you what these YouTubers do all day, but Jeff had to plug, so
yeah,
I can't find the petroglyphs anywhere, which is kind of unfortunate, but they're out here somewhere.
Wow, this
Hey,
place is so cool.
no boots in the house, guy.
Sorry.
Get out of here.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, dude,
I
put
was
that
gonna grab it,
on.
but there's a bunch of bird poop on it.
Neat.
That's disgusting.
So I asked Johnny the same question, but not being from Arizona, what is this? How does this appeal to you? What do you
Well,
think of it?
you know, I'm a fan of trees myself. I've been more into the desert lately. I think it's really cool, man. Arizona definitely is underrated. I still like the trails. They've been kind of muddied up, but they're still, you know, they don't cost money and you can travel. But they got so many different cacti out here, all the different wildlife. And we're about to go check out some petroglyphs. So stay tuned.
If we find them, that's a perspective from a non-native, so it's kind of cool to bring these guys out here that have never seen saguaros in desert canyons like this. I mean, I literally I own 5 saguaros on my property, and they've never even seen them before, so I think that's pretty cool to introduce this new type of geography to people who have not seen it. Well, no petroglyphs in sight, so we are off to Swansea. I think my new favorite thing is bringing out-of-staters into Arizona and showing them what this state is really about, and it's so much more than just Sedona Red Rocks and the Grand Canyon. Immense history is found around every mountain range and valley, from abandoned mines forgotten through the test of time to dilapidated canyons which at one point were called a home. This state is a place I am proud to live. It's a place where violence stained its past, but the perseverance of nature shines through where life seems almost impossible to sustain. It was an honor to spend the last few days with Jonny and the Jeffs, 3 guys I am thankful to have met along this overland journey. As travelers, it's easy to resonate with one another sharing stories from the trail. Each one of these guys has a passion for the outdoors, and sharing that passion with one another is something truly special about this hobby. You can meet complete strangers, spend a few days with them in the backcountry, and by the end of the trip, you feel like you've known them for decades. And that's what keeps me coming back every time. Settled in 1909, Swansea is a town that was fairly well preserved over the last century. Prospecting began in 1889, but would take another couple decades to prove its worth. As the railroad approached the town of Parker in the late 19th century and the development of the Swansea Railroad to Bouse, the town exploded in population to 300. From well-preserved worker housing to deep mining shafts and the imploded remains of an old copper smelter, the success of Swansea was short-lived. Investors backed out of their positions, and by 1912, all of the mines had closed. 2 years later, the American Smelting and Refining Company bought the rights and would begin again. This would last until a few years after World War I, when copper prices would hit rock bottom and Swansea would be left for people like us to appreciate its past. It amazes me to think that at one point these mines were bustling with people working hard to make a living, cashing in checks and exchanging their labor for booze and cigarettes, a quick escape from the harsh reality they would live. People just like you and I, working their lives away in hopes of some greater purpose. These laborers may have been forgotten, and their lives may seem to only have been a speck in the grand scheme of things, but they were the foundation of what our great country would become.
How much gas do you have left?
I'm gonna go empty in 15 miles, so my gas light's on.
Yeah, we cut it a little close here, but we're doing this for you. We're pushing our gas limitations so we can get this content. We could have gone into Parker and got fuel there and headed up, but that sun is going down and I don't want to miss this view.
Stretched on time and fuel, we were bounding due west in hopes of making it to the top of Black Mesa before sundown. The Black Mesa overlooks Lake Havasu to the north, the place where my journey began 5 days prior, marking the end of what was nearly a 280-mile loop around some of the most diverse areas of western Arizona. This was certainly a trip for the books. It had been almost a year since I had taken a trip this long, and by the last day, I felt my soul had been relinquished of all the stress reality puts on my shoulders from day to day. With the sun diving under a western skyline, we had made perfect timing to camp and watched that orange light die out over the rugged landscape surrounding the lake. Making it to the overlook before sundown felt like a huge success, and an epic way to end an epic trip with a bunch of epic dudes.
Well guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, our collab with Jonny Taco Outdoors and Adventure Squad team, I hope you come back for some more. Go check out their channels, and until next time, we'll catch you on the trails.
Alright guys, I already said I can't film anymore, so...
If you made it this far, I'll take it as you like the content. And if that's true, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and comment a location I should check out next.
Thank you all for your continued support, and hope you can get out into the backcountry and make some awesome memories. Until next time, stay rad, my friends.